Hey there, what do you say there, world? Welcome to the Racers Recap. My name is Justin.
I'm Diana.
And I'm James Earl.
And joining us in just a couple minutes will be LaBrant. He's actually joining us on his phone and didn't have Google Hangouts downloaded.
Where's Krista?
Krista is actually doing a huge dance class in New York with Metz and Dana and probably like 4 or 5 other really popular choreographers. So she's pretty busy, and she's really upset that she couldn't be here for this because she wanted to show you all the makeup and stuff. She's still gonna pack. She don't care.
That doesn't just happen by itself.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? How many extra eyelashes do I need to bring?
Like this.
So maybe we'll get her to join in at some point at another time to tell us some of the things that she would have brought that are different than what we would bring. So one of the questions that we get asked, that I get asked a lot, is like, what did you pack? What would you pack? From a lot of people who are like filming their audition tapes, and they want pointers and stuff. So they want to know the things that. Sorry, Cole just sent me some technical difficulties. He just texted me. Call error.
Wait, he really wrote call error? That's awesome.
Well, he like sent a picture.
It says call error, not call error.
Maybe it is call error.
Click the link from Twitter. How about that? See.
Oh, there he is. Awesome. Yeah.
Hey.
Am I on?
Yeah,
you are on. You're live to the world.
We are live here at the Races Recap. There's Cole. Thank you for joining us, Cole.
Oh, I have a little wrench now.
Can you see us, Cole?
Hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can see and hear you.
Yes, we can, Cole.
Can you see and hear us?
I can't hear you guys though. I'm testing out this sound thing because I don't have the correct earbuds. So I got this mic piece, but I think that only you guys can hear me and I can't hear you. Is that the case?
Yes.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, but he can't hear anything that we're saying.
That's a sign.
Right. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sign language maybe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what's going on here?
Yes. We can hear you.
Let's see if I can grab something
Just
else.
unplug. Just unplug it. Unplug
You
it.
got like the man bud going on.
I know, right? Cole, just take your shirt off and walk around your house for the female listeners.
That'll get a lot of people. Oh, he heard that.
I unplugged this. How bad is the audio? Because
No, it's fine.
No, it's good.
That's fine. It's just
fine?
when we talk. It's just when we talk. Sometimes there's an echo, but yours it doesn't sound too bad.
Okay, I'll turn down my volume so that I can still hear you guys, but it's not overwhelmingly bad. So this should work.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Gotcha.
All right. So Cole is joining us, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the finale, of course. Cole is also he made an awesome video recapping his amazing race journey on his YouTube page. If you guys have not watched that, check him out at Cole LaBrant on YouTube, and check. I just want to start off by saying, not a lot of people misunderstood you in the beginning, and I guess maybe I was one of them. Even though I understood the excitement, but after getting a chance to meet you and talk to you for about a half hour at the finale, you are somebody that I would love our kids to be like. So I think that's the highest compliment that I could pay somebody. So I think you're an awesome dude.
I didn't meet you, but I mean, I trust him. I mean, he wants really nice, he wants good-looking kids that are smart and intelligent and spiritual. So I guess you embody all of that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I have your back for life because you're an awesome person. So if anybody's talking junk at Cole, just know that it's probably going to get deleted. So anyway, all right. So welcome to the Races Recap. Cole, you guys came in second. Is there any regrets? Anything that you're thinking about as a negative, or is this 100% positive for you?
No. It was all. It was just an entire positive thing. You know, as you guys watched, we were towards the bottom pretty much every leg, really up until like the semi-finale and finale. But even then, we were just scraping by. So I mean, every leg that we made it was just we were so happy to be there. And I know that a lot of people ask us, like, were we trying to get first, or were we purposely just trying to stay in it? And we obviously weren't trying to get second to last every leg. It just happened. But
I don't think anybody tried.
you know, our motto pretty much was, because we knew that we were one of the weakest teams, was just stay in it to make it to the next leg. And as long as we keep doing that, then eventually we'll make it into the finale. And we kind of were like joking about it, but then it happened. So.
I was like fully supporting y'all the whole season because, you know, Mom and I were one of those teams too where people would just like talk so much smack about us. But the thing is, y'all still outlasted every other team, and people don't realize like it doesn't matter if you like get first. If you're out in the lead, you're still out. So all you have to do is just keep through one leg at a time because it can be anybody.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, James, you can correct me, but you and your mom are the highest ever finishing mother-son team ever, right?
No, we're not. No.
Who won? No, I'm not talking to you, James. I was talking about Cole and Sherry.
Oh, Cole and Sherry, yes, they are.
Yes. I said help me with the trivia. I didn't mean help me
Margie and Luke are third.
No mother team has ever finished higher than Cole and Sherry.
Well, I kind of like your second place was so fun to watch because, like you said, Cole, that you guys had been towards the bottom, so for you guys to come in second was like, it was the best that you did, and you could tell that to peak at that point at the end really felt good for you, and it was really admirable to watch. And like part of it, I guess, was refreshing to see because I feel like when we got second, it was more like upsetting. So now, like looking back, I'm like, wow, you were so proud to be second, and we were a little bummed that we got second. So to see it from how proud you were and how excited you were to get second was really something that I enjoyed to watch, just as a person who also came in second, to see how different.
It's the very opposites, the reactions.
I guess it's just the difference on how you compete in the previous legs, where you guys had gotten like pretty much every other first place.
Yeah.
And did not get first place, and the one that it matters sucks. But for us, second place, that was the highest that we had ever.
Right. So you finished with a bang.
Yeah.
That's such a great way to take second place, and I wish I was like the man that you were in accepting it. I still have a hard time accepting it.
I feel like
Can I say that, like, Cole, your response, I think, when you and your mom came into the mat in the 11th lead in China, that was probably some of the best reaction I have seen of any of the races, just because it was like so genuine. Like you could tell y'all thought you were out. You could tell, and then to see that excitement, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was exciting because we were in the taxi ride over there, and we spent literally forever on those unicycles trying to figure it out. It was raining and it just took forever and all this stuff. So we were on our taxi ride to we knew where the mat was, and it was pretty much just like, we were saying our goodbyes to the cameraman. He was like,
oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, we had so much fun. We never even expected to make it this far, so we're just happy to be here, blah, blah, blah. And, one of the cameramen obviously asked, like, well, what if you guys aren't out? Like, what if you guys are still in it? And that's whenever I actually said what they aired on TV, it was like, well, every time that we chose the funnest leg, we somehow stayed in it, so you never know. But it was kind of like a joking way. It wasn't seriously. So, yeah, we 100% thought that we were out on the way over there. So it was just a complete surprise. Just because Bernie and Ashley, I mean, they were in first the entire leg until, they just made the decision to
switch.
Yeah,
switch. So really up until then, whenever we didn't see them, even whenever I turned the corner and I didn't see them on the mat, I thought that they had gotten first that leg and that they were just doing their, off-camera interview already because we had come in that far late. So I was just like, I was really confused at why Tyler and Corey and Matt and Dana were screaming so much. I was like, okay, yeah, we made it. Big whoop.
Zombies behind you.
Run! And that's quite. Yeah. It's definitely one of I guess the most emotional. One of the most emotional scenes in the history of The Amazing Race, and I don't know if that's overstating it at all, because the reaction online, the reaction from the people there. I mean, I watched Diana cry when you guys did it. I mean, I'm tearing up, and online everybody's talking. I mean, it's got to be one of the most emotional times ever in The Amazing Race, and to have that is pretty cool, especially considering you guys started off very emotional as well.
Yeah, I guess we're just an emotional team, whether it's good or bad. So it's going to be emotional.
Yeah, but I think that's that's what's so real about you, and that's why a lot of America can relate to you guys, because you're from the center of the country. I mean, from Alabama, and the good old, and you kind of lost in small
Did you
towns.
say Alabama was the center of the country?
I was going to, and I stopped, and I was like, the center of the Alabama.
Race people are gonna be like, Justin doesn't know his geography.
Oh,
my
I know.
goodness, here we go.
I know. I've been to Alabama too much too, but to come from there, and I think that underdog story is just something that America can grab onto. And I know that you guys said that you would do an All-Stars, but would you do an All-Stars if it was, hey, let's leave for this season coming up in about 30 days? Would you be ready?
Yeah. I mean, I would. It's an experience that, unless if like you are like about to go on your honeymoon or like your wife's pregnant, I think that it's an experience that you should really drop for just about most things, because you will never get that again.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what I have going on, but unless I have something that I think is a greater experience, which is just about nothing, I think, on Earth. And like I said, getting married or my future wife having a child, nah, I'm in.
I love how you talk about your future wife.
Turnaround in 30 days, though. Can I just say?
Yeah, and that's not happening in 30 days. I'd have to find a girl, marry her, and get her pregnant. Get pregnant. Super fast. So.
So I always ask this question to all our guests, but what was the most challenging part of it all? It could be anything. It could be like the food, staying healthy. Like, what did you think was the most challenging part of the whole race?
There's probably two things. One is probably the sleeping, eating situation.
Mm-hmm.
Just obviously that stuff that you can't really realize on TV, but obviously you guys did it, and you just know how little food you have and how much you're traveling, and you gotta manage the money, and you're sleeping in airports and in planes where you have time. So that's
scared to drink water sometimes because
all that. It's just exhausting. And then the other one with our season, I was terrified of like ISIS and terrorism throughout the entire race, just because right as we left, the Paris bombings just happened, and then like a Mali hotel in Africa, the exact same hotel that we were staying in got bombed, and a whole bunch of American tourists got killed. So every country that we went to, I was like, man, this could be it.
Yeah.
This could be where it all ends.
Wow.
That was my like thinking like that too is always scary, because you're in all these new experiences and you're outside of and you're different. I mean, you go to these countries and you clearly stand out. So.
And I don't know if your mom said this when we interviewed her, or if we talked about this off air, but that was the reason you were so emotional in the first leg, right? Because you were kind of scared from all the like terrorist stuff, and you were leaving your family. And
yeah. That was one of those things that they obviously didn't have time to air. Maybe it wouldn't have been good to air on the national television. But obviously, with the Paris bombing just happened, my dad and whole entire family back home, they're pretty nervous about us leaving. Just we're both blonde, white. We're gonna be running around with a camera crew and who knows where, and make a really good target. So it's scary, but that would still be a fear of mine if I did All-Stars. I'd still probably cry again whenever I left, because you don't know, but it's exciting.
That's so great. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and it's hard for people not to appreciate that when you do it your way. Like, I wore my heart on my sleeve, but I do it in a different, more aggressive way. I can learn a lot. I can learn a lot from the way you did it, and I know.
That's what I told him. Like when he said he was hanging out with you, I was like, hang out with Cole a lot more when you're there. Okay, come back like a little bit sweeter. I mean, he's sweet, but he's also a New Yorker.
I think that would take a lot of time of Justin hanging out.
And I'm like, you can go visit Cole.
I just want to hang out in that family, because everybody in that family is just ripped. I mean, you just go in that house, and it's just, I love it.
It's the water in Alabama.
It's not the water in Alabama.
James Nerl needs to be drinking. Stop drinking the bottle of water, James Nerl. Drink
tap water. Water.
So for All-Stars, we're going to get into it. Some of the stuff that we've packed. So did you think you guys were one of the teams that still had like pretty full bags even at the end of the race? Is there a reason you guys didn't like dump half the
Yeah, you carried your bags like most of the last episode.
Yeah. My mom, we invested probably about $2,000 on all of our equipment within both bags.
I hear you.
So my mom wanted to keep it and
No,
I throw it away. I was like, Mom, we could win $1 million. We could just leave everything on this plane because that's what the other 2 teams are doing. And
they left it on the
we
plane.
can do it with the bag. So I was like, I'm the one carrying the bag, so I guess we can.
Wow, so they just left their bags at the airport.
Yeah. I know that Tyler and Corey left theirs on the plane, and I think that they got theirs afterward. They gave the flight people their information, but I think Dana and Matt just completely threw theirs away. So
well,
yeah, they won $1 million.
I know, hey, it worked. So they're not missing any of that.
Yeah, we checked ours because we were going into New York, and his dad lives in New York, so we just put his address on there, and we checked our bags straight through. Yeah. And then, of course, they gave us a hard time after, like, well, these mysterious bags show up with no owners to claim them, like, whatever. They gave us a hard time.
Take the names and Google them. You'll know exactly who we were. That's it. It's not mysterious. Google the names.
Exactly.
So for All-Stars, would you guys pack still that much stuff, or how much more slim down do you think you'd be?
Sherry just said she wouldn't carry a bag for All-Stars.
Yeah.
She didn't carry a bag for this
show. Don't carry the bag.
Yeah, I mean, we would carry so much less. My mom, and really from about a mile into leg 1, we realized, I think because my mom didn't train running with a bag, that I was going to be carrying both bags as long as we were in. So literally every leg I carried both bags. So what we would do for future legs is we would do one bag. We would have one bag and pack it all in mine. Even the one bag would probably be less than a single bag that we had last time, just because we would pack so much less, and then maybe get my mom a little duffel bag with medicines and stuff. Yeah. But other than that, I would carry almost all of it, and my mom maybe a little string bag or something.
How big were your bags?
Do you remember?
I think that each of our bags weighed in at about 30 pounds.
Oh, wow, you were carrying 60 pounds like a flak jacket the whole time.
Yeah, we had huge bags, and we slowly threw a little bit away, but we kept almost all of it.
Do you remember how many liters? How many liters your bag was?
Yeah, there's 45, 60, 10. I don't know if you remember.
Ooh, yeah. I don't, but I know that on our season we had with maybe 1 or 2 other teams the biggest bag. So we were probably the least experienced traveling, so we just, my mom packed everything, wanted to be safe. We had no idea, so no, she did a good job packing, though. We had everything that we needed and more, but we would definitely do a lot less.
People in the chat room said, no wonder you're jacked.
Yeah, right? I mean, they're 60 pounds, God.
Oh, yeah, Sherry said that. She thinks they're 60 liters.
No, I think mine. Oh, no, Sherry, you're right.
Then she said.
Well, because this was Diana's bag, and it says right here.
Mine's 40.
40 liters, so I think that's how it's measured, yeah.
Our bags are much bigger than that.
Terry said 60.
Yeah,
dude, I just give it to you for carrying that much. I thought I was being a little diva when I was getting rid of stuff, and I thought mine was 15 pounds at the end, and I was getting tired of it. You were carrying 60.
Wow, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, but he offered so many times to carry my bag.
She's just so stubborn.
No, I want part of me wanted to do it myself, and. Now I'm thinking I should have just said yes and let you carry more of my bag. I was like, no, I got my bag.
Every time.
And then he'd be like, come on, run faster. I'm like, no, let me carry. No, I got my bag.
I just thought of something I've been meaning to ask you.
What was that?
I thought of something I've been meaning to ask you, because it's something that we found out that wasn't on TV, but it was about that penalty that y'all got. And I don't want to talk about that penalty because that's lame and that's stupid and whatever. But how bad is it the next few times you're checking into the mat and you're like, oh, God, did I get another penalty again? Because you're not prepared for it. And I think I saw y'all's faces a few of the times where Phil would be like, y'all are team number 5, and y'all are just sitting there waiting for the butt.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling. And I just wanted to share that because I remember how bad that sucks.
Yeah, no, it does, because, you do the entire, you do that entire leg, but obviously there's, little, things throughout the leg just within the clues that, I remember one specific time in, Bali, Indonesia, whenever we were doing the Rise Challenge, and the one that obviously it was a very physical one that Rachel ended up getting behind on. But
that's the one you beasted too.
They had hats there, and I saw some people wearing the straw hats, and I put on the straw hat halfway through the challenge. But I remember the entire leg I was paranoid, thinking, I didn't wear the straw hat the entire challenge. Are we gonna get like a 30-minute penalty because I wasn't wearing the straw hat? So things like that, just like little clues that pretty much if they decide that they want to penalize you for, they can. So you just kind of always paranoid.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting a penalty is the worst possible feeling because you're at the mat, and when you hit the mat, there's just that adrenaline just gone, and it's the relief, and you're like, it's over, I can relax, and then he says that, and it's like another shot of adrenaline coming through your body, and your body just can't handle it. Oh, it's the worst feeling ever. They didn't air yours, right? Is that why we're not talking about it, James?
Oh, I just didn't want to because it's already been rehashed and hashed. I mean, we can talk about it, but
no. I remember they didn't air it. That's some people in the chat room were asking. They got a penalty. I'm like, it didn't air because it didn't matter. It didn't change anything.
Yeah. It didn't affect our positioning. It didn't slow us down at all or anything. So we got a 30-minute penalty in Colombia, but it didn't affect anything.
So what do you work?
30 minutes of awfulness.
So what are you working on now, Cole? I mean, I see all the videos are coming out. You're jumping into YouTube world. I know you were huge on Vine and starting to make a lot more videos. I saw the montage with your family, which is awesome. So what else is going on in Cole's world?
Yeah, I mean the videos, all that stuff, continuing. I just finished my freshman year of college about 2.5 weeks ago. So
Congratulations!
With that, yeah. And for summer, I'm moving out to California 1 week from today, next Sunday.
Wow.
I'm moving out with my brother, my roommate, and we got some things that we're working on out there.
Wow. Congratulations.
That'll be fun, yeah.
Which brother, the 17-year-old or?
The older one, the 21.
21-year-old? Well, that's pretty cool. I'm sure Mama Bear's going to be nervous. Her boy's going off to LA.
Mama Bear gets to visit the beach, so I'm sure Mama Bear's happy. What are you pursuing in college? I know this is a teacher question. What are you pursuing?
Right now I'm studying global business. So if I stick with school and stuff, I'll probably go into pharmaceutical sales. I got some uncles involved with that. And sounds good. So.
Very cool.
Josh from our season does that.
Yeah,
and Tanner.
Yeah, well, Tanner's on radio now, but he used to do medical device sales.
It sounds crazy, but being a good-looking guy helps a lot in sales. So I guess that'd be good for you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess we'll see.
I'd buy what you're selling.
And you talked a lot.
What? I'm just saying, if he was selling something, I'd buy it.
That's not real.
James Jones said the same thing, but he whispered it. Nobody heard.
What?
I'm just joking. Just joking. So Cole, who was your biggest threat the whole season? Did you guys look at any team as a big threat when you were at the starting line? That's my usual question. Who was your biggest threat?
Yeah, I mean, from the start, obviously Brody and Kurt, but even I remember it probably wasn't from like leg 1, but definitely just like leg 2 and 3 whenever we kind of saw the teams. I think that overall, I always thought that Bernie and Ashley were going to win it. Like I think probably once we got to Columbia, like almost like leg 2 or 3, I just saw how strategic they were, smart they were, well they got along, and all that kind of stuff. So I expected Bernie and Ashley to win it just because it's usually a guy-girl team who wins it. Mm-hmm. So I felt like Brody and Kurt were almost too expected to win it. So I thought that Bernie and Ashley were going to win it, especially as we got closer and closer to the finale, and they were still in it and still kicking butt. So
everybody says that we've talked to that Bernie seems to be the most prepared. Like he was prepping all day, every day. Did you find that to be the task as well?
No doubt, he was. Like before we did the race, I didn't even know who he was. So you could say like an interview that we did right before leaving, and we were asked about each teams, and I really had nothing to say about their team just because I had no idea who they were. But whenever I got back, I did some research on him and found some videos of him and Ashley like prepping several months before the race, where they were even sampling like energy bars that they wanted to take on the race. So I mean, so much preparation into what they did. They had things in their bags for wherever we went, wherever we were, and it was lighter than our bags. So they prepped so well.
I really felt for you about like the height things because I was in the same boat, really, really being terrified. You had to do the mountain thing and you had to do the cliff diving. Which of the two would you say you felt more scared of doing?
I was more scared of the mountain thing, because with the cliff diving, I knew that I was jumping into water, which I had already told my mom. Like if I had to for whatever reason jump out of a helicopter into like the ocean for something, I feel like I could do that because I really love the water. So it'd be like a win-lose type thing.
Right.
But and I knew that it was 40 feet, so most likely I wasn't gonna die jumping 40 feet.
That's really high though.
It is, but the scariest thing about the cliff diving was whenever I was putting on like the wetsuit and all the gear that they gave me about to go do it, and inside the little bag is a little bracelet that says like Shark Band, and I'm thinking like this isn't a watch, it's just like a band and it says Shark Band on it, and I see that it's way too big for my arm, so I put it on my leg and I ask the guy who's about to take me to the cliff what it's for, and he says that it's like a metal type thing. Right? Yeah, and it sends out things that'll keep that limb safe from a shark. But they only give me one for one limb, so I'm like how am I going to jump in like shark-infested waters and my left leg's the only thing that's going to be safe? So that was the scariest thing going through my mind there was I'm going to go underwater and like not come up because of a shark. You know, a shark just sitting down there with his mouth like.
Just kidding, you're not safe.
So Cole has got to go in a couple minutes. He has a prior engagement. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to fire those away, especially you guys in the chat as well.
Well, I kind of have a follow-up, but like because you did those height things, I know for me, I kind of felt like really proud that I got to do those height things and kind of conquer that because it's one of the only times I would ever do that. Do you kind of have the same experience that you're thankful you got to do those scary height things?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it was watching it and showing my friends it and just the entire experience. I mean, so glad I got to do it. So glad I did do it. That is probably, besides, like, ISIS and terrorism,
right.
My other biggest fear, if we were to do All-Stars, would be with our season compared to y'all's season, there wasn't near as much height-related stuff. I mean, you guys, had that giant swing and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So, if there was an all-star season, I'm sure that there would be a lot more height things, intense height things, and it would be tough. It'd be one of those things where it would be very emotional and a lot more crying. So,
as long as you cry while you're doing it, you're fine.
Yes.
Did you get the final? Did you get the final memory task on your first try?
Yes, except for the spelling. I had all the hashtags in the right spot, but I misspelled a few words.
I thought that was one of the hardest parts.
That's what he said. I never would have got the spelling.
I'm terrible at it. Chamonix. I couldn't. Chamonix, you'd probably give me 12 tries to get it right.
yeah, that was the that was the part for me. I knew what it was because we had studied it, but spelling, maybe.
That's why I was scared. That's why I was scared to have James Earl in the final, because he would have whooped my butt if it was that final. If that was the final memory task, he would have destroyed me.
Right on. But see, the thing is, Mom and I have to drag our like badasses to the final. We just can't get there.
Oh. So, any other questions for Cole?
Cole, what do you? Sorry, this is like not race related, but what would your like perfect girlfriend or wife be? Because I know you always talk about like your future girlfriend, your future wife, and I think it's adorable. But what does she like? I don't really. I guess what does she look like? But it doesn't have to be physical. Like, what do you look for in a girl?
Because there's no way you're single by because you can't get a girl. You're single by choice. So it's obviously you're waiting for the right type of girl. So who would that type of girl be for you?
Well, I'm looking for someone fun. I think that's probably one of the most important things. A very fun, someone who can match me in like craziness, because I'm really crazy in public. I'm a lot more calm right now. But
I love the way you're like, Mom, go like this.
Yeah, like I'm just like dancing, embarrass everybody. So I want somebody who can match that. Someone who's pretty much like my best friend. I almost like compare every girl that I think could be like a future girlfriend or something to my best friend. He's a guy, but I think like could I have just as much fun with this girl as I do with my best friend? And if not, then I couldn't marry her, Right. Like, if I'm gonna spend forever with her, I don't want her to not be my best friend. Right. So things like that. We had to agree faith-wise. So as a Christian, I'd want to find a girl who has the same beliefs. I think that's important. And then she's got to be hot. So.
I hear you.
Well, I'm sure that there are plenty of people who are trying to fill in that application. So I think you got a great head on your shoulders, and you'll be fine out in LA. But again, it's that city that changes people. But I think if you're got such a solid foundation with a great family that you'll be all right out there.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
Just don't let Brittany Furlong get her teeth on you.
No. The models will get their hands on it.
All right, Cole, thank you so much for spending some time with us. You're welcome to spend more time, but you said you had to leave, so I just want to get you out on.
Yeah, what time is it now? I didn't even check.
It's 6:30 your time.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got another phone call about now, so.
That's all right.
I think
Thanks
it's
for
calling.
hanging out with us.
And you're always welcome here.
Absolutely. You guys have fun.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you.
That's so. I mean, how great is he, man?
Wait, did anyone else see that model picture for like half a second?
Yeah.
No, it's still up there. I wonder, can we click on that and show it or no?
Let's try it.
That is.
No. Oh, there you go.
Can everybody see?
Can everybody see that? Oh no.
He does look like the guy from Frozen. What's his name?
Oh, the prince.
Yeah.
From
No,
Frozen?
Hans, isn't it? No, not Hans.
Yeah. He looks like
Is it
Hans. Hans. He does.
Oh.
If people can see the model picture.
Okay, cool. So now I clicked on it.
Jerry just said, "Isn't he such a good boy?" He is a
is.
pleasure.
Oh, yeah, we gotta
He is an
remember.
absolute pleasure.
His mother's in the chat room. So you gotta remember that. No, I'm just.
No, that I feel like he is who he is. That's 100% who he is.
He's an awesome kid. I mean, obviously he has great parents. So.
Oh, Christoph, not Hans.
Christoph, that's right. Thank you. Thanks, Sherry. Casey.
All right. So what would we pack for All Stars? It's a simple question. This is it. This is what we would pack right here.
We could both fit in one bag.
40 liters, one bag.
I didn't bring my shoes, but my shoes on the porch.
No, I'm just trying to judge. I'm just going to sit here and judge your bag.
That's all right. We'll show you exactly what's in it. 40 liters, one bag. There's actually still room in the top. It's only 18 pounds, and that's going to be for both Diana and I.
I mean, give or take, like a couple things that off the top of my head I may have forgotten.
Well, 20 pounds. Let's say 20 pounds.
I'd give it a 20 pounds.
For both of us. And the number one thing that every racer in the history of the race, besides a very, very few like Tanner and Mark and Abba, everybody overpacks. Everybody overpacks.
Josh even overpacked. Tanner was the one that didn't overpack.
Yeah, I was like, I think Tanner underpacked because after like this fourth leg, his clothes were stinky.
Oh.
But see, the thing is, I don't care about the stink because let's be honest, all of us stunk. Like, your clothes are never clean, you're just less smelly.
Dirty, yeah. But still, though, I feel like the stinkier you are, the more bugs you attract, and I don't like bugs. I would not want to be surrounded by bugs because I stink.
Now I know how to, like, sabotage it. Still all the
just,
bugs.
like, spray me with stink.
Oh, my God.
I feel like one of those African animals that has, like, the flies all over them, and they're just swatting. They're, like, no.
Yes, my backpack always has green in it. All right, so I don't know if I messed up the thing by clicking on Cole's, but can people see James Earl when he talks? James Earl talk.
Hey there, hey. What's that? Hey there, world. What do you say?
All right, did you guys see James Earl when he said, hey there, what do you say there?
He didn't switch over.
Because on my screen it didn't switch over, so I don't know if it's switching over on your side. So guys, let me know. Some of the first thing that everybody should always have and always pack, passport.
They can't see me, Justin.
No, they can't see
Okay.
him.
Well,
Oh, everyone, like literally no one can
They're
see
like,
me.
no.
Everyone's like, no.
okay.
Present to everybody, no? Oh, there we go.
But I have to click on it. So let me just say present to every.
That's a lot of me going on.
Okay. Present. Can we present both of us to everyone?
Probably not.
No, I don't know.
What did you do?
I just clicked on it. Stop presenting. All right. Let's see that. No?
Maybe that'll work.
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're all saying it's working. We're fine.
Yeah, but I think because
They don't
he
need to
switched
see
you
this.
back. All right.
This isn't the moneymaker.
I'll just click on it. Doesn't matter. All right. So first thing, everybody, this is the only thing you need. This and the clothes on your back is the only thing you need. And to prove that, they did it when in the older seasons when they took everything from you except the clothes on your back and your passport, because that's literally all you need. So passport, number one thing, hands down.
And here's my advice to that is, and a lot of people, get messed up in the past. You need to have one person who's in charge of the passport. So pick your most responsible person. That person always has the passports, and I recommend keeping it attached to you on your fanny, like in your fanny pack, on you all times, no matter what. Period. The end.
Yes, my fanny pack was like where, like, if you see, like, if you go back and watch, I always had my hands or my thumbs or my arms resting on my fanny pack because I always wanted to know that it was there. And there'd be some challenges that after the fact I would watch and I'm like, why didn't I take off the fanny pack? I think I had it on when I was running, doing the Van Gogh paintings in the Netherlands. I'm thinking, why didn't I just leave that with Justin? But I never wanted to relinquish that responsibility to him because, you know, it would have been my fault.
I got a question on Snapchat. So if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat, it's Classic One Media, or you could just screenshot that right there. Cool. All right, but I have a question from Jenks. Let's see if we can get it out. Let's see if it works here.
Everyone wants to race against the very best teams, but when it comes down to it, do you really want to take those best teams to the final three with you? Would you use a U-turn or not?
All right, so everybody wants to race against the best teams.
I think I know what we do.
Would you use a U-turn to get one of the weaker teams into the final three, or would you want to race against the best at the end? I think that's the question.
James, you go first.
James, what do you think?
I think I disagree with you. I think I know what y'all's answer are, and I'm going to disagree with you. I think you have to use the U-turn to get good teams out. I think it's what it's there for. I think it's what it's built in for. And here's the thing. If a team is really that good, they're going to get to the U-turn board first, hence y'all in season 27. So if you don't get to the U-turn board first and you U-turned, guess what? You're not the best team in that moment.
I think that we would use it if we weren't at the top. This is
going to sound wrong, so let me say it.
No, it's going to sound wrong if you say it. I think because we were consistently at the top, we chose not to use it because we wanted to, in my mind, we wanted to kind of race against the best and beat the best because we were at the top and we wanted to compete with the people that we thought were at the top. But I think if we were towards the middle or the bottom, that we would absolutely use it if we happen to get there first to eliminate a strong team.
AKA, the simpler version in my terms is we weren't scared of any of the teams that were left, so we didn't really want to U-turn them.
That sounds so much worse than what I just said. I'm just pointing that out.
All right, well, I just said it simpler. Like, if there was a team we were genuinely scared of, which listen, if you were still there for the third leg, well, you kind of were, but
what?
No, like the third U-turn.
Yeah, you U-turned the paparazzi.
Right, but that if we were really on that border, it was
if you were second instead of being last, I guess that he's saying that we would have probably
maybe not at that time. At that time we were U-turning them because of personal reasons. But if there wasn't any personal thing,
I'm so glad that happened because I knew if they didn't, y'all were coming after us. So I'm so glad.
You were the person I was scared of. But she would have probably said no, we're not doing it.
We wouldn't have used it because I didn't want to use it against Tanner and Josh because I knew that they were in last place, and I thought that would have been a not nice thing to do, is to give somebody a bigger disadvantage when they're already at the back. They were already going home, so I didn't want to do that. So if you were exactly in your same placement and we didn't use it against Logan and Chris, I don't think we would have used it at all. But that would have been an argument because he wanted to use the first one.
It was a super fan moment.
He probably would have just used it against us just so he could say I used it.
It was the super fan moment. It was the first third U-turn ever, and I want to be the first one to use it. So what? It's stupid.
He loves his superlatives. My favorite superlative is your first team to not win 2 prizes for coming in person this season.
It was breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, Harmstone. Stupidly competitive, very cocky. I'm sorry. It's the truth.
Yeah.
The question was.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I like to shut people down on this because you're watching a reality TV show of 11 teams competing for $1 million.
Yes.
Why in the world do people get mad about competitiveness? I don't understand.
Or
lack of it.
Or no, what is cockiness? I'm sorry, but if you watch a football play, if you watch football and you interview, Cam Newton and you ask, or if just whoever, and you interview people about, are you going to win today? Of course we're going to win today. We're the best team. We have the best players. That's not cocky. That's having confidence in yourself and confidence in your ability. I think when he says it comes out cocky.
It could be cocky all you want, but you know what happened? Everything that I said, I backed up. So it wasn't cocky. It was me just telling you what was going to happen. Just deal with it. I'm sorry. What I said happened and it happened. The only thing that didn't happen was a stupid cab at the end. But other than that, it wasn't me being cocky. It was me just telling you.
James said Diana finish my questions. This was for All-Stars. All right, so I'll finish my question. If I was ahead of y'all in All-Stars, I'd U-turn y'all in a heartbeat.
And if we were ahead of you, I think we would U-turn you at this point. Said you.
I cannot believe you both just said that.
Hey,
Are you kidding me? I would never U-turn them or Krista and
You're they're the scariest ones.
They
They're the
are.
biggest competition. Well, all's fair in love and war, James.
Oh my God! See, now I would be the one. Like I'd be trying to get out seasons like the other seasons. At least I want season 27 to finish 1, 2, and 3 in the All-Stars to prove that we had such a strong cast. Like that's my goal. I want 1, 2, and 3.
All right. So Michael Jenks sums it up. Do you want the best 3 with you, or would you want the, not so good of a 3?
If there could be an
not so good of a 3 then for All-Stars. I'm not missing the second chance. If we have a second chance, I'm sorry.
But is there any team? All right, is there any team that could potentially be an All-Stars right now that you would genuinely think that we couldn't beat?
Not that we couldn't beat, but a team that I would be threatened. Yes.
I'm just saying.
Like a Jim and Misty or a Rob and Amber. I would absolutely, James Earl and his mom coming back. I would absolutely feel threatened. When you go back and you've already raced. I think it's different.
I like to see Diana getting fired up.
Oh, Micah Harmstone, Kelly and Siobhan for TAR 30 first boots. Like, I get that.
I'd bring them all the way.
Oh my God.
They'd be our Kelsey and Joe.
Just carry them there.
We'd let them puppet master us to the end. All
right. So let's get to some of the stuff we're packing. All right. So. All right, something that I think is pretty important that helped us a lot during packing is these things.
Packing cubes, did you use those, James?
Did you use packing cubes, James?
We did not use them, but we just, I learned how to roll shit really tight. And that's what I did.
Yeah, we rolled stuff really tight and put them in those cubes. So everything kind of fit.
Yeah, nicely. So if we knew we needed socks and underwear, they were in one. If we needed just a shirt, we could just grab it here without ruining your whole pack. So that just seemed to be the reason for us. It just kind of grouped things in certain packs, so it made it easy access. So when you're rummaging, you don't mess everything up. All right.
Sewing kit.
This one's actually too big.
Yeah, we actually bought this on the race because Justin's bag started ripping. Brand new bag, the seams on his shoulder straps started ripping.
Yep.
So I stitched them up.
Wasn't it super heavy though? Yours was 40 pounds the first time you took it.
Yeah, because we brought 40 of these protein bars. These are the best tasting protein bars, and they are 20 grams of protein. So we got the Cinnabon and the chocolate cookie dough.
I didn't eat any of them.
She didn't really like them because of the aftertaste. I love them. I had one as often as I could. 20 grams of protein, a nice bite of chocolate in those places where you need fruit.
In hindsight, I'd probably eat them this time because I would think that I'm building muscle. I'm going to come out like a beast.
Also, beef jerky. I'd probably bring. She doesn't like beef jerky, so the reason I didn't bring it.
I like Slim Jim.
That's not beef jerky. That's terrible. But really good beef jerky or something else that I would also bring. But
Jerry B. just asked, does Tar give you the bags or do you have to buy them?
We bought them.
You bought them. Everything you bring on your own.
And
they don't actually tell you anything to bring.
And you spend your own money.
Yep.
How much do you think you spent, James Earl, on bags, materials?
At that point in time, I bought all of Mom's stuff too. So I think between Mom and my stuff, we spent about $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as essentially the paint, we had never had anything paint. So all the paint stuff was new. The backpacks, all the stuff you put in the backpacks. And what's a shame is of all that, probably we ditched about 500 of it along the way.
Wow. No,
because we got rid of one whole backpack. Because the thing is, when we started it, we had 2 full backpacks that had a full bag and a day pack. And by the end of it, Mom was wearing 1 day pack, and I had one of the bid backpacks. But we had given away the other backpacks to some kids in Africa.
Yeah, but just think, those kids in Africa are wow, I got this from an American racer.
And yes, there was a couple questions in the chat room. So producers do have to approve everything that goes in the bags. It's not we could decide. We have to send it in. They always get ultimate approval. But yes, I would definitely bring protein bars next time and beef jerky. Energy, power, food, those things are necessities. So if you're gonna have a race that's a race and you need energy, sometimes having this protein while everybody else is suffering or spending money at an airport, it makes a difference. We didn't spend a lot of money on food. All right.
Mom and I spent $0 on food. You just have to be good at hustling. We got so much food for free.
Yeah, they searched every garbage can in Poland. It was awesome.
You can find some really delicious stuff.
All right, so we had the packing cubes. Those are a couple different sizes. This was the big size for all our big stuff, and the little ones, obviously, they're green because we like green. All right, so for Diana's stuff and a lot of our stuff, this material, this dry fit like material, is the best. What you don't understand is that your clothes stink and they get disgusting dirty, and the only times that you have to wash them is usually in a sink in a hotel room or a campsite.
I think we bought a lot of polyester.
Or something. And we looked online about the stuff that dries the fastest. Fastest drying stuff
dry wick or whatever.
Is more important than any other clothes you can get. Because you can.
And that's what I say. And don't forget about your socks too, because Mom and I said this too. Like literally every piece of clothing that we would bring if we were asked back would be dry fit, so it could dry like that, including socks.
Yeah.
Because you think stuff will dry and it won't.
Wet, and running with wet socks is the worst because when your feet start to get messed up, that ruins the whole race for you. And your mom had like crazy blisters, and I know that.
All did.
Yeah.
All right, so I have one of these.
So this is long sleeve, dry. It's like
it's tight.
Tight. It's tight, but it's that really dry material.
And this was my shirt in Africa because it's light. It was white.
It's breathable in the back, and it dries really, really fast.
See, I did not do the quick wick sock thing. These are my socks were cotton.
Yeah.
They were just socks that I already had. I had like some little pairs, and then a pair that came up like past my ankles.
And we both have.
Melissa Baker just asked something about shoes will take forever to dry, and I want to show her something that I got. These shoes that I had, these are dropped it. These aren't the shoes I wore in the race, but they are exact same type. They're actually like air dry, so they have all of these holes in them, and that's why I got them, is because they dry like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
we brought two. Well, we both brought 2 pairs of shoes. I had a pair of Brooks, were the ones that I mostly wore, and then I had a pair of like really flexible. I'll pull them out. They're on my rack.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. For us, this is what I brought. These are like a trail shoe that if I needed to walk on anything hard or some hard surfaces, this is the one that I wanted to use. It's also water resistant, so if water up to here, it would keep it dry. But then I had a shoe kind of like this as well. If you look at all the mesh, it's just a quick, dry shoe, really, really light, and something that you could just throw on and fly. And those are the 2 types of shoes that I would bring next time as well. I would definitely wear 2 pairs of sneakers, shoes.
See, Mom and I we'd only do 1 pair. We only brought
even
one.
After that first leg.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, see, I was glad that I brought 2, and I didn't.
Shoes are heavy. Shoes are heavy, and these I'm telling you, these shoes like this is the exact type I had on the race. My shoes were never wet. Even after jumping in the pool in Poland and getting out, they dry like that. My socks never dried, but the shoes dried.
Yeah, that's a good point. We both had a pair of these pants. They were my Africa pants and my India. No, actually, in India, I didn't wear these. Oh, maybe I did.
Yeah, you did.
But they zip off.
Yeah, they zip off in the shorts, and I actually, there's one leg where I unzipped mine, and I look like a dad, to the fullest. Oh, God. I had, these high green socks, too. All right, so wet wipes. If you've ever been to India, wet wipes.
Yeah, but these are, antibacterial. These are for your hands, not for other areas. But
oh, whatever.
I would recommend other area wipes, too.
See, hold up. I have to pause for a second. Y'all's badge is only 20 pounds, and you have wet wipes in it?
Yeah, but how thin is this, though? This is 20, 30 wet wipes, so for those moments you need.
And this would be for, an all-star, not for what? Oh, yeah, well, you said that.
Yes. Pepto. Because if your stomach is in pain and you're...
and the chewable ones, too, because you don't always have access to water. You just want to be able to, pop them in and chew them on the way.
Wild cherry actually doesn't taste too bad.
Yeah, but it's kids that taste like bubble.
You eat a lot of food that your body's never had before, or at least my body's never had before, so sometimes it doesn't really react.
People said underwear. I'm not about to show you my underwear.
Yeah, nice try, Pervs.
But, it's the same type of material. You might want cotton. I know...
oh, you did these as well, right?
Yeah. Who wore disposable underwear? Sherry and Ian and Terry had.
Ian and Terry had Depends. They wore Depends.
I would probably bring 4 pairs of underwear this go around. Probably 4 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
And 2 sports bras.
Only pants I would bring would be pants like this, like the quick dry pants, and those the tan pants that we wore in Africa. That's it. Those are the only type of pants that I would wear. They're both light. They both dry really fast. This is most of her stuff. It's all the dry wick, and it's so tiny. With all that dry wick stuff, you can just roll up. You can just roll up into small balls, and it doesn't really wrinkle up that
So
bad.
I would bring like I'm not really fond of things like shoulders when I'm like running and stuff because I just want sleeveless. So I would bring like 4 tank tops like this that are light and dry quickly. I'd bring 4 in different different colors and styles. These are things that I did pack. I'd probably I felt most comfortable in like capri pants, so I would bring just 2 pairs of that.
And this is all the clothes that I would bring right here.
And a pair of pants.
This is it.
How many is that? How many of each is that?
1 pair of long pants, 2 pairs of capris, 4 tank tops. I'd say 4 underwear.
And I got 1 pair of pants, 1 long shirt, and then I got everything else is just layered. It would be layered. This is
That's the thing too. That's the one thing you have to remember on this is you never know where you're going. So I think the key to cold weather is layering. So Mom and I had like the lawn Under Armour. I remember, you remember the Africa lead? You saw Mom in a lawn white t-shirt. That was just like, actually that was a cold weather t-shirt that you're supposed to like layer underneath clothes. She just wore that because we had nothing but paint. And we had to wear something else.
Yes.
So that's what I think that the key to cold weather is layers.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you for the advice, Harmstone, on double clicking myself to get the thing back and forth. Obviously, I'd bring my green hat. I'd wear this hat as well. And I like bringing one of these hats because it's comfortable when you want to rest on stuff and it's dirty and things are around you, or this gives a little cushioning. So this I wore this whenever I was sleeping in any kind of dirty situation.
Just remember to take it off when you go into a church, or America will like rip you a new one.
Yes, doesn't matter if it's freezing cold and pouring rain like 2 seconds before you go into the church, but that's okay. I'd bring 3 pair of socks, 3 pair.
People were asking about how many boxers.
3 pair of socks, 3 pair of underwear. This is
boxers or briefs.
I do a boxer briefs. The tight. You're gonna be running a lot, and boxers are too loose. You don't want things dangling around. And briefs, and I just think briefs are, they cause the chafing in that line that's tight underneath your junk. So I like the boxer briefs. Reduces chafing. I don't know. If you don't have a thigh gap.
It's a very strange turn.
If you don't have a thigh gap, then you like me. I don't have a thigh gap. When you run, sometimes they'll chafe, so you need that type of stuff. Okay. So anyway, 3 pair of socks, 3 pair of underwear. That's it. They don't take up stuff. Of course, I'd have my Be Happy shirt because it's my Be Happy shirt. It's also one of those light ones that dry fast. This is a long sleeve. Green, obviously, dries in seconds. And that's the one I would layer. That's it. If I got cold, I would put a T-shirt on. The long sleeve shirt on, T-shirt on over that, and then my button down.
Yeah, there's some stuff that we toss. Like I had a vest that like had feathers in it that rolled up that I'd probably bring. But this is like my, I guess you would say my everything else, my makeup, my medicines.
Yep,
but
this is my everything bag.
Like waterproof Band-Aids you need because if you have blisters.
Blisters. We all had blisters.
Powder, deodorant.
And foot powder, like, you don't understand the value of this. Between getting the stinks out and drying things that are kind of wet and
blow dry will be your best.
Chafing, that this helps from that. Baby powder.
Makeup.
How much chafing did you have going on this first race?
I don't think
Listen, if there's any sand involved anywhere, which there was in like 2, 3, 4 legs, then things bothered me. I mean, you're in better shape than I am. My thighs touch.
Michael Jane said, "Could you borrow cold jackets from a hotel or airport?"
No.
Where do you go? You say, "Hey, can I have a jacket?"
Right, and also you have to remember too that the point of it is not like you still have to carry a jacket at that point.
Yeah.
The point is like you have to remember, and this is the hard thing that no one will understand until you do the race, is you feel every single ounce in that backpack. And you think you won't. You really don't. Like as you're patching, you're like, oh God, I need this extra shoe. I'm just gonna put this in there. But once you start running like 5, 10, 15, 20 miles with all that weight, you're like, that shoe, I don't need it so much in my life anymore.
Yeah, so I would suggest one of the most important things that a lot of people did not bring was like a really small alarm clock. And because we didn't bring a really small alarm clock, we got stuck with this one.
We had to buy that in Argentina.
And we bought this in Argentina, and this is the alarm clock that we woke up to.
You brought that from home.
Definitely.
This is the alarm clock.
It's not even in English.
And
it's Disney Violeta.
And we thought we got this because these bells are so loud.
No, it doesn't ding-a-ling.
And this thing doesn't even move. It's fake. It doesn't ding-a-ling. Oh, I was so upset because
Michael Harmstone's confused. He thinks y'all brought a clock.
No,
y'all
we bought.
We bought a clock.
Our alarm watches did not wake us up. We found that out on the
when you're in a deep
sleep.
When you're in a deep sleep, those things ain't waking.
Thanks.
We just go back and forth.
Well, somebody asked about is makeup really necessary to bring or just because? I think it's just because. I mean, you're going to be on television. That was definitely something I was aware of, but I'm not really into like much makeup. So I have like 4 staples that I would bring, and it's a little bit of bronzer. This is like it's got like 4 different colors for your eyebrows and your eyeshadow. The only other 2 pieces I need is mascara and.
That's why I love her.
And blush. I'd probably bring some blush, but I'm not very like makeup-y like that. I have hair stuff just to spray in when I would wear my hair wavy, hand sanitizer. I would definitely bring my tattoos again. I still have tons of them. I don't know where I thought it was going. I think I bought like 200 tattoos. Sunscreen,
yes,
Dramamine or Pepto, and I had this little tiny straightener that I probably wouldn't bring again, but I did bring this. So, but that's all my makeup and other.
That's her everything bag. This is my everything bag, and one of the things that we were so happy that we brought that other people didn't, or some other people didn't bring, were these things. Tide. These are.
For each leg.
I love it. These are made for washing in the sink. They're like sink packs. So we got these Tide ones. And even if you're not cleaning things, you're making them smell good. And sometimes
they're never clean. They're just less dirty.
Yeah. So they at least they smell good. And sometimes you're in places that don't smell good. So just having your clothes and being able to sniff it really helps. I always bring a razor.
Sorry, people are asking about like feminine things, like how you deal with that with your period and stuff. I just didn't experience that. I was able to.
She wills her body to not have to deal with that.
It was only 21 days, so there was 7 days where it could possibly not happen.
No,
right?
But I just manipulated things to not deal with that. So I would recommend that if you know you're going to be on it, and you have the access to it. I want to just say it.
She doesn't want to just say it.
I'm just embarrassed about it, but. If you're a girl, then you
about your birth control.
If you're a girl, then you know what I'm talking about. There's ways to not have it. So
I have birth control.
That's all I'm saying.
Emergency blanket. We didn't use it. I would still bring it because it doesn't take up any room. And if nothing else, you could use the silver for something, maybe reflective in a task. So emergency blanket, I bring it. Doesn't weigh anything. So I would definitely bring that. Green bandanas are a must. This actually I would bring as well. It's a waterproof bag. Sometimes there's something you just can't have wet, like your passport or whatever. The things that you just can't have get wet. Just put it in here. It doesn't weigh anything. We really didn't use it last time either. I would still bring it. Waterproof bag because we don't know. It doesn't weigh anything. All right, what else? I would still bring a whistle.
Wrong end.
Yeah, thank God. Anyway. Thank God she blew it to the wrong end. But I would still bring a whistle, carry it on your pack. If you see, it was the difference.
Or just have a built-in whistle like Mom. She is just like a little foghorn that didn't yell for the taxis.
Yeah, and something that you see almost every racer has nowadays is the thing that makes you look like a nerd is,
I got eliminated wearing that.
You got your hat. It's upside down.
Yeah, but you got to use it.
Yeah. But
I didn't use y'all's in that.
We used it. Oh, we used ours for everything.
No, we did not.
Not in the India leg, but we used ours.
When did we use ours?
For opening clues and stuff early. No, we didn't use these.
No. We
used it in India when it got dark.
We finished right as it was getting
dark.
Yeah.
We put it on after the roadblock.
Yeah, we didn't use those.
We didn't use these, but I would still bring them because they give you DEET on the race, and that stuff is scary.
What is that?
This
it's a bug repellent like wristband.
It's a band that works for like
48
a week.
hours.
Oh,
no,
so
it's like 48 hours.
2 days. You just put it on and it repels mosquitoes for 2 days.
But I also covered up, so I didn't have to really wear that, and I was not putting that DEET on my body.
Yeah, but
it was like wash off.
It's not bad. You just once you apply it once, you can't put it on again until you shower.
I know that just made me nervous.
Well, I was just scared because it was like poison if it got in your skin. I don't know.
No, it's not poison if you don't. You can put it on your skin.
I didn't hear it. Didn't it say like don't put it on your face?
I thought it said. I don't know.
So don't put it on your face, but like you put it on like your hands and stuff, and you're just not supposed to put it on again without showering. Like it's poisonous if you layer it and layer it and layer it.
Gotcha. All right, so we brought this because it was 2 days. If we were gonna spend a lot of Africa legs and like bush that was mosquito-y, figured this would help us. Really light. I'd bring it again, even though we didn't use it. Okay, this sounds stupid. And you probably get them on airplanes if you're during your trip. But sleeping at airports, they don't shut those damn lights off. So if you're like me and that light coming through your eyelids bothers you, these help. And it comes with earplugs. Earplugs are always good because trying to sleep anywhere that's noisy. Like you can sleep anywhere.
Not on an airplane. Not on an airplane.
Well, it doesn't matter about airplane. Anyway, like when you're sleeping, sometimes you have to sleep at the weird times. So yeah. I would definitely bring it.
I don't know that I even use the earplugs.
I did. You did.
It would make me nervous just because I like hearing things.
I just the only time that you would need it would be if you had a crying baby on the airplane. Then I'd probably stuff some earplugs.
But they also weigh nothing. So
I know, but I'm saying I'd bring them. But I'm telling people I didn't use them.
Oh yeah.
I brought
so let's be honest. By the time you make like lunch 7, you can sleep about anywhere.
Yeah.
Literally anywhere. We slept on top of a bar.
Yeah, we didn't wind up using these, but I think this season it came in pretty handy for some legs, especially counting things on steps. Sometimes it's just a clicker, simple, easy, it's light. Why not? I brought it. First aid kit. This is just right. We brought a little.
The only thing you really need is Band-Aids. Band-Aids are so clutch.
I have hair ties in there.
She's got all these hair ties, sterilizing wipes of all sorts, antibiotic, antibacterial stuff, Band-Aids. Oh, here it is, babe.
What? Oh,
that's the snake.
That's the snake.
Mom still has her snake.
That's so cool. So here's a cool story. When we were in the Shoestrings Lodge in Zambia or Zimbabwe, we spent the night there, and a lot of people were ditching their stuff in hotel rooms and things like that and giving them to the staff. So I was ready to start ditching my stuff. So I took all the stuff that I was ready to ditch, and I went to the local merchants, and I wanted to buy something to give to all of the girls on the cast, just to kind of, hey, remember this moment. All right, this is one of the chances that we weren't really racing at this point. We were singing Kumbaya.
Cool, there was like a fire pit.
We had
warthog, and it was just really a fun.
It was one of those moments I wish they shown. We got bongos and we were playing stuff. So I figured this was a chance to say, hey, guys, like whatever. Like, you know, I went out and I traded like 7 things to get one of these for every girl on the cast.
Except me. You left me out of this.
I am so well. You know why I left you out? Because it was you that kind of sparked this whole thing. You sparked this whole idea.
Let Mom spend like $2.
These were like $2.
I hear that. I get it.
And because James Earl was so stingy with the cash.
We're the ones that ran out of money.
I know, but he was so stingy with the cash, he wouldn't let Mama get like $1 for a burger at the place, and he wouldn't let Mama get $2 for one of these like hand-carved water snakes.
No. You're throwing me under the bus. Let me explain myself just a little bit.
Okay.
So, I gave Mom, like, of all the money, like, I was, like, scrounging the money. Like, I was a little Scrooge over there with the money. But, like, every time we made it through 2 legs, she could just buy her something. And she had just bought herself, like, a $5 coffee. So she bought herself a little something, and she wanted to buy a little something more. So she bought, like, coffee and a candy bar. And then she's like, oh, give me $2 more so I can buy this necklace. So I was like, no, I'm not giving you more money to buy a necklace.
That's so funny. Every 2 legs she earns like an allowance.
Here's the thing, like and you know this, y'all know this too, and y'all can back me up. So don't if you don't, you're lying. The further you get along, the tighter money gets. Like the further along in the race, you're like, oh my gosh, I need like $2 more. You're like, I'm $2 short.
Yeah, when that guy asked for $100, I almost like, oh, that's why I think I was like, no, we just lost. We broke 3 times in the race, and you want to, So I know all about it. It's paralyzing. And it goes to show you, things that happen early in the race have a tremendous effect on the things that happen later in the race. If we didn't go broke with those cabs earlier in the race, I wouldn't have cared about the $100. But I just felt like we were going to be broke. Oh, yes, that's really cool. All right, so what else? Deodorant.
And a compass.
A compass. I always bring a compass. They're light. I think there have been a couple episodes or a couple tasks that having a compass would have changed everything. So I don't care. I will always bring a compass, even if I didn't use it.
Mom and I had one all the way till we were eliminated. That's one thing we kept.
The compass.
We kept, that was one of them. We kept a compass. We kept a calculator. We kept our little headlamps, like those types of things. The ones we kept.
So we did end up like ditching things. I got rid of some of my cold clothes after Argentina, but because we were ditching things, that's it.
That's all of our stuff.
But because we were ditching things, it kind of gave us an opportunity to pick things up along the way. So in India, this guy had come up to us and he was trying to sell us, I don't know if you could really say it, but he went through and he was like,
teacup.
It could be,
it's like balloon, teacup, ball,
a bangle, a globe. So he it turns into all these different things and shapes.
I'm just going to be honest, Diana. It looks like you're playing with air.
I know. Well, it's just wire.
Okay, so it's just these really thin wires, and like they shape into different things. Like there's a bangle, and I don't know. Every time you flip something, it turns into something else. It's like a flower. You could rest stuff on it, a teacup holder. I don't know. He turned it into like a million things. Every time you twist it, you could twist it. It's a globe. It's a globe. It's, I don't know. It's a whatever that is.
I don't know. But I was really happy to.
It was handmade stuff in India.
I got some magnets. I got a magnet at the not the Grand Canyon, at the top, like a Taj Mahal magnet.
And money, the thing about India is that's the only place where you feel like you could spend a little money because the money goes so far there. Like rupees.
Except when the tabs try to gouge you.
Well, the thing that I like to tell people is like sending your clothing out at the hotels to have the hotel wash it. I think in every other country it was like $15 for one pair of pants, $10 for one shirt. Just like American money to get it done. I think in India it cost $3 for every piece of clothing that we had to wash, or maybe it was $5 each. So we're like, take it.
Especially after that first leg where we all got filthy and and so that's the only place we ever really got our clothes actually washed where that wasn't in the sink. All right, so that's everything that we would pack for All Stars. Is there anything that we missed, James Earl, or something that you think that we would bring, that you would bring that we didn't?
The only things that I think that y'all did not mention were a calculator. We had a little, it was a little cheap, like $2 one from Walmart.
Solar power?
It was solar power, just in case there's some funky math. There's been some challenges in the past. The one I can think of off the top of my head is I think season 15, the gold challenge in season 15.
That's the one that changed everything, yeah.
You really needed a calculator for that. Trying to do that math by hand was impossible.
Because even if you had the great one in your head, the prices changed all the time, so there's no way. I'm sorry, what did you say, babe?
The gold one, what was that?
It was when they had to measure the gold. They went to the jewelry store and they had to measure the gold. The price of gold kept changing, and they had to get a certain amount so that.
Gotcha.
And the only other thing I would bring is one pair of earphones for each person, because those flights are real, real long, and those TVs make all the world. You don't think they will, but they make all the world, especially when you're like taxiing, because sometimes taxi takes forever.
They also most of the airlines give you those really, really cheap earbuds, and I hate those earbuds. So that's one thing that you're right. I would recommend bringing like a nice, just pair of comfortable earbuds that are small, because you do get to watch the movies and things like that.
I'm sorry, there is something that we forgot.
What? Well, that's not ours, but
I know. A travel book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A notebook.
Ours is probably about that big, too.
Yeah, ours, it's upstairs.
Give me a second. I'm going to grab mine.
Okay. You got to get your travel book. Like, if for not, of course, you got to take down notes for every leg of the race, every leg, everything you could possibly remember. But also, at the end of every night, for every racer that's ever going to go on, that take the time to really write down your experiences, because as the days and weeks and months go on, you're going to forget all those little things that really make the difference. And going back and reading about those memories in here, I think will change everything.
Yeah, I'd copied all the clues. Oh, we can't hear you, James Earl.
Is he back?
Yeah. We still can't hear you.
Hello?
Mm-mm.
Did you get muted?
Nope.
You muted James Earl. I am.
Just click on the mute button on the picture. Okay, hold on.
Okay, how do you unfuck? This is awesome.
Up there? Try it. No.
That's me.
All right, he's not muted anymore. But no, we still can't hear you.
All right. Well, you're not muted on a screen, but we can't hear you.
Can you guys hear him in the chat room?
Can anybody in the chat hear him? Because we can't hear him. No, nobody can hear
Nobody
you.
can hear you.
Nobody
What happened?
Is your microphone on your thing here? If it is, unplug it and plug it back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
It must have been this somehow. How about now?
Yeah,
Yes, perfect.
Good.
Okay. Sorry. Now we're good.
Yeah, perfect.
But this was literally the book that Mom and I like had on the race. She also needed to bring a pen too, like writing helps them. But like you can see, this is the size of my hand.
Oh, hold on, go ahead.
This is literally the size of my hand. So this is really all you need. And like you can see, we just wrote down all of our stuff in here.
Yeah,
like, we took a lot of notes.
Yeah, we wrote down every clue word for word. Well, we weren't going to give you all our secrets.
Here we go. Here's some fun fact I just opened up. So before we got to meet all y'all, like, we had our little names for the teams. Some of them aren't as fun. But y'all were still the green team. I'm sorry, y'all were forever the green team.
I know.
Tanner and Josh were fratastic. Enoch and Jen, we called them the hipsters because of like the clothing they wore, because they had like all the really hipster type clothings. The Alex and Adam were the mini-me's, and I know that's awful.
Well, it's we love the cousins.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like you don't know these people at all.
Yeah.
That's all the fun ones.
Yeah, all the other ones are mean.
Well, we had I mean, TMZ we knew because it said TMZ, but Kelsey and Joey were Ken and Barbie because they were, you know, he was tall and dark hair and she was tall and blonde.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were just mother and son, but I had written your name as James something, and then I think
James Ray.
Yeah,
right?
James Ray, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't he an assassin?
It's James Earl Ray.
James Earl Ray.
She didn't.
No, I didn't put James.
Oh, was it Earl Ray? No, it wasn't James. It was Earl Ray. You called him Earl Ray.
I think it was
It
Earl
wasn't
Ray.
James
No,
Earl. You called him Earl
James
Ray.
Earl, right.
Tiffany and Krista were the cheerleaders to us because they had like a t-shirt.
Track stars were track stars.
Track stars were track stars. We didn't know they were track stars, but we saw those thick thighs. Like they're track stars. We thought Enoch and Jin, we called them the Kung Fu brothers.
Yeah.
Because they were always like, you know, kind of doing
Messing
something,
around.
playing around. And he wore that Asian garb. Jin had the Asian garb.
He had like shin guards.
So we thought they were like some Kung Fu brothers that like martial arts experts. Beefcakes. We had the beefcakes, obviously. Tanner and Josh.
I called them models, actually.
You said models. I called them beefcakes. And beefcakes is not a bad thing. Google it before you get mad at me. All those 13-year-old girls were upset with me.
I originally thought that Chris and Logan were a divorced couple.
Yeah, I thought Chris was an ex-baseball player.
Really?
He looked like he was in really good shape, but he was kind of like, you know, short.
So
and I'm
funny.
like, yeah, I'm trying to think of a profession that he could play. And I was like, baseball would probably be the one. Yeah, swing and a miss on that one.
Who else?
The Shaqs. Yeah, the Shaqs had.
I think I told my story of how TMZ was concerned on how they'd be able to convert kilometers per hour to miles per hour, and I'm like,
All right, so we're pretty much done with this. What would we pack? If you guys have any questions in there, throw them up.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we got 5-minute warning. We'll be done here in 5 minutes. We'll answer some questions, so throw them up in the chat room. I'm checking them out right now. So that's everything that we would pack. So 18 to 20 pounds, one bag for 2 people. Pretty much 2 or 3 of most things.
Here's one thing that Mom and I had discussed too, and we're kind of piggybacking on what Sherry and Cole said earlier because it's about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mom would have a little bag to carry just a few things in, just so we can use to like hold on to taxis and say, no, that is our taxi, that is not your taxi.
That's smart.
and to be able to maneuver things earlier, a little easier. So like when you're in the airplane, having to like freshen up, like we'd keep all of our toiletries and stuff in Mom's bag, so we could just load that little bag instead of busting into the big one.
Wow.
What did I do? I don't know.
Yeah. There's what's my favorite season? There's too many to name. I'd like to do them in chunks. I like 7 from the first kind of 10. I like 11.
My personal favorite is 27, but I'm a little biased.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
It's like my magic number now.
Yeah. That's a 14, 17. Good.
No, Jared, we don't watch Kelly and Siobhan. TMZ is just not a show
To me, TMZ is too fake. That show is the fakest show on
TV. Do I look like I watch TMZ?
Yeah. Like the jokes are so corny. It's like, let me try to be funny.
I got going on after.
That's grading. These teachers, they don't get paid to be home and teach. By the way, so all those people who say, "Oh, you get the whole summer off," yeah, well, they work more than the 8 hours at school. But anyway,
that's what
pay our teachers more. All right, so anybody, there it is. There's your question. Can Harmstone and I have a roast of your recap?
Yeah.
Sure.
Please do.
I just don't know if you guys are funny enough. So you might want to get a couple more comedians to join you. And just know that if it's all fair if we turn around and choose to roast you after.
Grading a Game of Thrones, you got it. Yeah, well, we should do just a Game of Thrones podcast later.
Oh God. We might. I don't. He's like, I'm out. All right, guys. We love you. We appreciate each and every one of you. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your days, your schedule to spend it with us. We all miss The Amazing Race. And don't worry, we will be recapping The Amazing Race Canada starting in June. And up until then, we're going to try to do stuff like this and have shows that answer a lot of the questions that our listeners have, and continue to have special guests.
Wait, people want to see Cooper.
From not just this season, but from past seasons. So please reach out to us on all of our social medias, which are in the description below. Reach out to us and tell us who you would like to have on our show live. I know one of the people that I really want to have on our show, and I'm not having a great time reaching out to, are the my Koski brother and sister, the guy Blake and I think Paige. He's the guy that was on The Amazing Race, and then he started Tom's Shoes after The Amazing Race. And I want to know how much being on the race affected him, and if that was the reason behind Tom's. And I have so many questions for him and his sister. She also started a company that does similar stuff. But anyway, so please let us know who you guys would like to have on. And this is Cooper G. Doodle. Follow him on Instagram. As always.
He was sleeping.
Also, one thing before you do your little final recap. Don't forget, everybody, watch Krista and Tiffany this Wednesday on The Price is Right.
Oh, that's right.
And there's also another TAR 27 alum going to be there. I think they make a special appearance.
Kelsey and Joey.
Kelsey and Joey joining in as well as some of your favorite TARs racers of all time.
Maybe we'll have to do a special live.
You want to do like a live recap of Price is Right?
Yeah, that'd be fun. Really talk about that.
Working that night.
Talk about the way they spin that wheel.
We'll figure it out. Stick around on. It'll be on the racersrecap.com if we're going to be doing the next live stream. Thank you guys so much. The next live stream next week, what we have planned is we are going to design our own Amazing Race.
That's the when's that?
That's 7 days from today.
That's like ways away. Ways away.
7
Look at James
days?
Earl's face. Look at James Earl's face.
No?
No, Justin. That's like a project.
Well, every time I say
You just say things. You gotta it's gonna take time.
How many? All right, tell me now. How many weeks you need for that?
Like
how many leads am I making?
Everybody's making 3. We're all gonna.
Yeah, but
there's 4 of us.
Yeah, we kind of have to discuss though, like who's going where.
Yes. Okay. So somebody designed the first 3. Somebody designed the second 3. Somebody designed the third 3. Somebody designed the fourth 3, and together we'll have 12 legs, 1 race.
Okay,
so in private.
Okay, we'll hash it out in private.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a plan though.
That is a plan. All right, so we'll work on that. Next week we'll have some fun. Just check at the link. Whatever. What?
No, I was gonna say next week we can talk about The Price is Right.
All right, next week we'll do The Price is Right, and I'll have a very special guest on. Let us know who you want us to have on. This is a great ending. As always, thank you so much for the Races Recap. Bye, party people.
Bye, James Earl.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.